$5 for a Jack and Coke.
A pitcher.
A picture.
Dame una jarra de
We could
Jack
go
and
out there
Coke.
just for that. It's about a 2.5-hour drive. Is it worth it?
Do they still do that?
As far as I know.
If you can find a pitcher in the bar, because they only give out a certain number of
Yeah, they
pitchers.
probably only have 20 pitchers, maybe.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's
you
what
have-
it was.
And you have to like beat the shit out of a young kid to get a pitcher.
That's kind of what happened. So she was just like, I was like, so it's $5 bourbon and Cokes, and she was like, yes. I was like, I'll have one of those pitchers.
No,
And she was
no,
like,
no, it
we
was-
ran out of pitchers, and I was like,
any pitcher.
but hold on.
$5.
But she was
Correct.
like, yes. So she was like, well, we don't have any pitchers, so you need to go get one. And so I walked over to a table, and they had a little remnants in there. I was like, hey, you go. Passed it around to the people
No, you said,
drinking.
excuse me, I'm with the FBI. Can I see your ID?
I didn't, dude. I was total Sean from Dudes Like Us podcast, and walked over to the table, and I was like, hey, guys, how you doing?
I'm taking these.
Yeah.
Well, I said, hey, I got to watch
Yeah.
these up here. You go a little dip, 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 dip.
Yeah, I'm taking
So
this
there
picture,
was-
and you got two
I walked
options.
back over there, and look, listen. Here's what she did. So I said, she went to the sequel, cleaned out the little pictures real quick. She came back, filled it up with ice.
What do you want in it?
She was bourbon and Coke, and she was like,
No, Jack and Coke.
she had Jack and Coke. So it was Jack and Coke. So look, I'm telling you, she took the bottle of Jack,
A fifth.
Yes.
a 750 milliliter bottle of Jack,
Oh, my God.
and she did a little swirl thing. You know how you swirl the
Yes.
bottle, and it's like a little vortex happens, and it's like
Yes. No, that's the whole thing.
the whole thing.
The whole thing.
I'm getting an erection.
And then she just went,
Yeah.
your pop.
And I brought it over to the
Coke.
table, and I was like,
Okay, well, hold on. There was more Coke.
Well, there's more Coke than that.
Okay.
But it was like,
they were large.
But did you imagine how fun that would be?
Oh.
Well, no, you were there.
we
You
each,
experienced
we
it.
each had one. We each had one pitcher.
A what?
Dude, I almost got in a
You
bar
refilled
fight.
it for another $5
I
No,
think
we
I got in a
had-
bar
no.
fight almost. I almost got in a bar fight. I was talking so much shit.
because you were so drunk.
Oh, well, I
It was
mean, I was
bad.
just very confident.
Well, that's right after Brandon got in his bar fight because he was on the football team, and
Oh my God.
Some
Oh, that's
idiot-
what it was. And I was
yeah.
like, all charged
Who
up. I was
would-
like,
who
who
would
are these
fight with him?
motherfuckers?
some idiots, some fraternity out there decided to, because the offensive line was at a bar drinking with
Yeah,
the quarterback.
And you mess with one, you mess with all of them.
And
And
these
they're all big,
guys-
by the way.
These guys decided to pick a fight with the offensive line. They're all. Brandon was 6'5". He was the average height one. They're
Pause,
6'8"
and
guys.
we'll be right back. Dudes like us, I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Jeff.
Yeah, we came in hot.
Yes. So, and they decided there were like 30 of them against 7 or 8 football players, and one of the
What,
guys.
did it go to blows?
Oh, big time.
In the
time.
bar?
In the bar.
Were you there?
No, I wasn't there. But this is when Brandon got in his bar fight.
Oh my! I didn't even think these things happened
Yeah.
anymore.
So
Like the Wild West,
So
where
what-
people picked up and thrown across the bar.
Remember that picture? That
Brandon.
that little,
Well, yeah, these guys are big and strong, right? And Brandon got a hold of somebody,
And picked him up and threw him across the bar.
pretty much punched him in the face, smashed his face. He finally got grabbed by a few guys,
I have never heard this story.
and then the bouncers got involved. But it was knockdown, drag out. I mean, there were bottles being crashed over
and
people's
tables
heads.
and chairs
Yeah.
and going everywhere and people
road.
going,
Oh my God!
Yeah,
It's like Roadhouse.
yeah. So those
that's
kids.
not, but that's not good.
So those. Well, they.
You know what? You
this-
gotta
this was
go
on the-
through some of those experiences.
I don't know. I don't like any of them.
This
It
was on the
appreciates
fraternity.
things.
This was not on the football team. They were just sitting there having a drink. Well, the fraternity had a problem with them.
Oh, fraternities. First off, fraternities have an attitude,
Right.
and then when they drink, they think they're completely Supermen.
Right. Well,
They are
they
fed.
did.
They are fed so much testosterone-y, pep talks, and you won the world. Don't let anybody tell you don't won the world.
Right.
Your penis isn't small.
Right.
Right. Doesn't matter what size it is. Use it like a man.
So
Stir
luckily,
up that panty pudding.
so
Yeah.
luckily,
Wow.
there's this.
God, gross. I hate it when you say that.
I don't even know where it comes
I
from.
just can't stand that.
What, panty pudding?
Don't say it again.
You don't like panty pudding?
Oh, I love it, but I mean, I don't like the phrase. Can we move on?
So anyway, those kids that he got in a fight with were at that bar that night that we were there, and he came over. And he came over and was like, "Those are the guys." And Sean was like, "Huh?"
Oh, that's what it was.
Oh. It was the same fraternity,
It was the same guys.
but your son wasn't with you.
Yeah, Brandon was with
yeah.
us with two girls and me and Sean.
Amp wasn't Preston there?
No, Preston was not there that time.
Oh, so Brandon went like, "Oh, here we go again."
And Brandon's like, "Those are the guys," and like I said, Sean's little antenna went up. What?
He was like, "I can fight them just as good as you did, and I'm 1,000 years old."
I was, still am.
So he was kind of
1001.
being, kind of trying to be douchey.
I was all
with
alpha.
him, trying to
I was
start something. He was like,
alpha-ing.
he was flexing and
Kind of lunging.
pulled up his stomach. Look, that looks back.
I'm not too aware of what Jeff's talking about there, but what I think what had
So
happened
were
is
you walking around bumping them and stuff?
no, I walked over there and was wanting to play pool with them. And look, honestly, look, here's the thing.
Oh,
Actually, in retrospect, those guys fucking loved me because I bought a round, and they were like, "Dude, you bought a round?"
We were going to kill you, but now we love you.
I think they said something similar to that. It wasn't kill, but they were like, "Yeah, you came across a little hot, or something like that," and it's like
Yeah.
you bought us around. I was like, "Yeah, we'll just keep them around for a
So
little
you
bit."
talk shit and were like, "Hey, I know you want to kill me, but here's a round."
No, that didn't happen. That didn't happen.
I'm not I got to be honest. I'm not a fan of. I mean, I don't think anybody's a fan of bar fighting or fighting in general. But I'm a.
I'll tell you what, the
You can
boys have
label
gotten
me-
in fights.
Huh?
The boys have gotten in fights at bars.
Yeah, and jack some people up too.
The younger ones.
My son included. I mean, I know he has told me about a couple of them.
Well, I don't know. There's been some time. I know Steven has, and I think he was too drunk to really do anything. But
Yeah.
he's been there.
Well,
and
your sons don't surprise me. I mean, they're hotheads. They got it from their father. You're a hothead.
Right.
You're one of those people that had a reputation all across the Midwest. Oh, my
was.
God.
there he is.
Jeff? That's Big Jeff.
I know Preston has
Yeah, so
Has
they get it. I was
destroyed a few
like,
people.
I never got into
Who
a
has?
bar fight.
Preston.
Oh, Preston's an instigator.
I don't know. Is he?
Actually, I don't think he is. I mean,
don't
his
know.
personality is not an instigator, but he's...
He's a protector, I think.
He is.
Yes.
Well, hell, man. Some guy was approaching Steven, and fucking Preston came running across the parking lot. Was like fucking Adam Sandler, the water boy.
And he was
Going
like, caveman!
Captain Caveman.
I think that's what happens is someone gets just so drunk and offends somebody, and then the other guys come in to protect.
Oh, yeah.
Right, is usually
They
what
plan.
happens.
You know, it's all very tribal. In retrospect, it's stupid.
It
but
is
you know what? When
completely
you're,
stupid.
when
I'm amazed
you're-
that nobody gets seriously hurt.
Yeah.
You can get seriously hurt,
Yeah.
seriously in trouble.
I mean,
seriously
every
dead.
week,
Well,
one
we hear
punch.
about somebody. Yeah, we hear about somebody in
Well,
a
Preston
in an
fucked that-
NFL game that gets
Oh my God!
assaulted
There's
outside
so many
the game
fights
and
that happened
dies.
during the Dallas Cowboy football game, the torturous playoff game they did.
Was
First-
there another fight?
there was
Packers
tons of
fan?
fights.
Oh my!
I'm talking like in the stands. Oh my God!
Between Packer fans and Cowboys fans,
Uh,
or Cowboys fans and Cowboys fans.
Both, both actually, both actually. There was like Cowboys fans on Cowboys fans.
Like saying, "Dude, our team sucks. Fuck you. They don't suck. Yeah, they do.
well,
Drew Jones
there were a
sucks!
couple of videos
Don't
out
say
there
that.
it was.
I love him."
It was pretty relentless. They were going to town, and it's just like, man, where does this energy come from?
It's
you know.
negativity, man.
Well, it's coming from those airports.
This is another
Airports?
segue.
Yes.
It's because everybody's worried they have measles. Everybody's got
I'm
angst
gonna go
right
fight.
now. Let's go fight. I think I have measles.
right.
Well, look. All right, since you
Okay,
brought
can
it up,
I just stop for a second?
Since we brought
You
it
have
up.
literally the worst segues.
I don't know. That's what
Yeah.
makes it kind of weird.
Yeah, I think Larry said he's going to have some advice on what to do with the podcast. Number
he
one
is.
stop with Sean's segue.
I,
That may be the very first thing that Larry has to. Larry,
well-
and Larry, if you're listening, please tell Sean that. All right.
Larry
So
has
what'd you
some
find
advice.
out about your measles?
All right,
well,
go
I didn't find out a whole lot, but I pulled up the hill.com. It says Virginia's warning travelers that they may have been exposed to measles earlier this month at 2 airports in Washington, D.C. area. The Virginia Public Health Department said it was notified of confirmed cases of measles in Dulles International Airport on January 3rd. And
Dulles.
Ronald,
Dulles, yeah.
what did I say?
Dulles.
Dulles. And then the Ronald Reagan National Airport on January
Yeah.
4th.
Both?
Yeah,
Both
both
of
of them.
them, yeah.
So
The same traveler, huh?
The department issued a warning to
That's
travelers who were near the international arrivals area at the main terminal of Dulles. Is that what you said?
Dulles.
Dulles.
yes.
Dulles. I want to say Dulles, but airport between 4 and 8. So look, they give you a little time frame there, and I'm sure, hopefully, they've got like what is the CNC? Well, I mean, not CNC.
CDC.
What is it called? The people that are
CDC,
CDC.
CDC.
where they do patient tracking.
Patient Zero.
Well,
You remember in the
you've seen these
beginning of COVID,
movies.
they tried to do all that. They're like, we're going to track you.
And they came in Seattle.
And they're in their living room right now.
Well,
They're
one of the
masturbating,
things
so
I read,
Jesus.
whether
He's in
it's
the corner. I don't
one
know
of the-
why he's in the corner.
yeah, one of the things I read is they said that this stays active for 2 hours in the atmosphere.
in the air.
In the air.
That's terrifying.
Health officials are especially urging those who are not fully vaccinated against measles to monitor for symptoms which typically emerge 7 to 14 days after the initial exposure.
What are the symptoms of measles?
The
And
health
large
department also noted the 2
engorgement.
stages of measles symptoms. The first stage may include
Engorgement.
a fever greater than 101 degrees Fahrenheit, runny nose, red watery eyes or sneezing,
And
an
engorgement.
enlarged penis.
That's what I said. I said engorgement.
Oh, my
God,
bad.
you can't take that. I already said
So
that.
can you read through those again? Sorry, I was distracted.
By engorgement.
101 degree fever, over 100, runny nose, red watering eyes,
Okay, that
So
just,
allergies.
sneezing.
that described like
That's everything.
100% of every time you feel like
That's
shit.
the initial one. The second stage, which occurs 3 to 5 days after the initial symptoms begin, may include a rash
All right.
that spreads from the face to other parts of the body,
Little red dots.
according to officials. People are contagious for 4 days after the rash begins, and 4 days from there on. Or
But
from
me- but
before
me-
and after,
but
so it's total
measles
of 8.
It's not anything to fuck around about. I mean, you can go. Is it blindness? I mean, really bad measles. I thought.
I don't know.
So it gets into it further. So infants under the age of 1 may be more at risk if exposed to, since they are too young to have received the vaccine. Measles is preventable. This is a quote. Measles is preventable through a safe and effective MMR vaccine. What is MMR?
MMR.
Mumps, measles, and rubella.
Yes,
Mm.
and it's a very harsh vaccine when given to newborns, which I don't agree with newborn vaccination. They fucking wait.
Yeah,
Wait
but
until they can have, you
they
know.
do now. Kindergartners are now the typical recipient of these vaccines. What they're
MMR.
saying, 90% of the kindergartens are fully vaccinated.
So what is the one where
Infants younger than
it
12
causes a
months
scar
are too
in the
young.
arm?
That's smallpox.
Was that the smallpox
I
one?
believe
I think
so.
it's polio.
No, it's smallpox. I'm pretty sure the one that causes that
That little circle
weird
scar?
Circle scar, yeah.
Yeah. Does it still do that, or have they figured out how to not cause that?
I think they have figured out not to do that.
Look up
I've got
smallpox scar.
I got one too.
Yeah, that right there.
It is smallpox.
Thank
That's
you.
what it looks like.
So the smallpox vaccine holds a live virus. It creates a controlled injection that forces your immune system to defend your body against the virus.
Well, that's all vaccines,
That's all. Yeah.
except for COVID.
Great, thanks, Paul. Now they're going to yank us on YouTube. Fucking
No.
asshole.
No. What I was saying is COVID is even more than that, and even more effective, and even greater,
Yeah,
and it makes you
ChatGPT,
happy.
get that.
It's also an antidepressant.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
It's
and
also something you stir in your bourbon.
it causes engorgement.
Engorgement of what?
Engorgement.
I'm not going to elaborate because it makes me uncomfortable.
Again?
God.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So-
all right, so measles is breaking out. So I mean, I don't know how far this thing can go. Look, let's get real with this. All right, I don't know where this is going with the smallpox thing. I'm sorry, with the measles thing, but COVID started this way. It was a nonchalant
Yeah.
thing that happened.
Measles
It was
has
like,
breakouts like this every year or so.
Yeah, but we didn't have the propaganda machine
Right.
in full
Right.
force.
That this is going to go from we've had a measles incident at the airport. We could have thousands of travelers
Lockdown.
affected to we're all going to die unless
Look,
you wear a mask.
so
You're killing
look,
people without
You guys
a mask.
are aware of what the Smith-Mundt Act is?
No,
You have to say that carefully.
I can't
Smith-Mundt,
say that I am.
M-U-N-D-T. Mundt
All right. No, I've never heard of
Act.
that.
So this was something that was put out in the 40s, 1948. It was Truman, Harry S. Truman, President Harry S. Truman, put it out there. It was so basically what it was is that the government can't get involved in controlling the narrative on certain things.
Interesting.
A president
yet-
in 2012
And yet
Obama overturned that.
overturned it.
Yes,
Oh
I have heard
my
about that.
God, I did hear about that too.
And
How do you overturn something like that? What does that mean? It wasn't. It was a executive order by Truman.
Oh, yes, I believe so.
yeah, well,
And it was an act for how many years? 60
No,
years?
Congress.
yeah,
It
well,
was passed by the 112th Congress. No,
what?
And
I'm reading it right now.
And Obama
H.R. 5736, Smith-Mundt Modernization Act of 2012, the 112th Congress passed it.
Oh, there you go. Well, the 112th Congress at 2011 and 12. So the H.R. 5736 is basically a revision of what Obama is. It's revision of what Obama did, but the original one was from 1948. But
No, that's fine. What I'm saying is it wasn't an executive action. It was passed by Congress.
correct.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
this was not an executive order. I apologize.
Okay. No. It's all good.
The
All right, keep
original,
going.
the original legislation authorized the U.S. State Department to communicate to audiences outside of the borders of the United States through broadcasting, face-to-face contacts, exchanges, including like educational, cultural, and technical, the publishing of books, magazines, and other media and communication. Basically, the government, they're saying, but government needs to back the fuck out of that. You know, we don't even have an opinion. You don't need to go army. Republicans are awesome. You know,
Right.
you can't say that. But what it also does, what it also controlled was you weren't allowed to say things that were wrong
Or false.
or false statements on the news. Like, you know,
Correct.
like 60 Minutes, for example. You weren't allowed to say something because there was accountability.
Right.
You know,
That's gone.
Like
It's
saying
gone.
the COVID vaccine is safe.
well, okay, yes, exactly. So they
You can't
took
say stuff like that.
they took it out of they took. Look, this is
We're not
real.
saying that.
This
no,
is
I'm
some
not
crazy
saying that.
shit.
I'm just
But
saying
think
that
about
that
it.
would be something you can't say.
Think about it. So there's a roadmap. There's a roadmap that these fuckers are doing, and it started with Obama. Obama has to. He may not have been the worst president, but he is the most conniving president that
he's
we have
smart.
ever had. Ever.
Smart.
He was instrumental on changing the architecture of the way we do things.
Well, he even said
He even said it.
we
There's
have
only-
to change the way America is.
Right. We have to
Fundamentally change.
Well, he went so far as to
Piece
say,
of shit,
I
motherfucker.
want to remember his quote, but it was having to do with we need to lie to the American people. Is basically how he said it. He's like, I mean, you guys not remember that? It's recent.
Yeah. He was talking about he's like, you know, the American people need to you know, I can't do his voice.
It's almost like they're too stupid to know better.
Yes, therefore we need to stand up for
we
him.
need to just tell them what they think they need to hear, you know, so that we can keep moving forward with this ideology.
He's an elitist.
Yeah, we are not the Matrix. Okay, we are not these
Are you sure?
stools
We're not in the
that
Matrix?
are we're not like, man, the silent majority. And I'm not saying that we're the silent majority. I'm just saying, look, folks, you stand up and be heard.
Yeah.
Stand up and be heard and speak what's real. I'm sick of all this bullshit. Everyone's sick of all this bullshit. I'm sick of fucking Nancy Pelosi and her shit, and like the new January 6th stuff coming out with her, the sergeant at arms coming out and
No,
saying
the head of her security. So a little background on that one. Since Speaker Johnson is now being a little more liberal with the release of footage.
over 10,000 hours.
Oh, yeah. Because he is, I think he also knows that something shady went down. We don't know the whole truth, right? And that's the thing. We don't know for sure one way or the other, but we don't know the whole truth. And when somebody's afraid to tell you the whole truth, there's usually something wrong.
There's usually something in there.
Yep.
They don't want you to know.
Where there's smoke, there's fire, right? So anyway, he released, he allowed the release of that, and so this one news organization, actually The Blaze, went meticulously through a lot of footage, and apparently there was very damning testimony about the, you know, it being an insurrection, and from the head of security of Nancy Pelosi. And he apparently was backing some story from one of the Capitol policemen that said this happened or that happened. And he said, yes, that's true. And he was on the, you know, in a congressional hearing and said, that's all true. I was there. So what he's saying is that's absolutely what happened. Well, they proved through the footage that they had just gotten a hold of, he was not there. And they have proof, video proof, with timestamps on the cameras and stuff like that, and where he was walking and stuff. He wasn't there. So he absolutely perjured himself.
So is he going to get in trouble?
Probably not. But all it does is create more fuel for the fire on people not believing what really happened, January 6th.
Well, what do we think?
So I don't know. I don't know if it goes anywhere or not.
I've heard this thing that happened on the 13th being referenced as J-13, right? Because when the whole Palestinian
Yeah.
folks crashed the Capitol,
They
or whatever.
evacuated the White House.
Yeah,
How does that not get news?
I know it didn't. It didn't.
They evacuated the White House because they weren't sure if there was going to be a breach,
Correct.
a security perimeter breach. When they were what were they doing? The pro-Palestinian, they were they climbing the fence?
I think
Were
they broke through a barrier, didn't they?
Oh my God!
And they break into the state capitol or one of the buildings, didn't they? And,
Yeah.
And sat down.
Yep.
And
That's another breach.
And they broke in.
Yeah.
And did it.
Yep, they sure did.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Going
Protesters shook and dislodged an anti-scaling fence outside the White House, and they forced staff nearby to evacuate the premises. Huh.
These guys need to be tagged
Tagged like,
They're not.
like fucking animals.
oh, these professional protesters that keep going around doing
They need to
shit?
be tagged because look, all those guys that are doing that stuff, they don't conform to our ways. They're not. They look if you're gonna be from outside this country.
Oh, I don't even think it's
and
from
you wanna-
outside this country.
No, I'm working there. So if you're gonna come into the United States,
Yeah.
and you need to assimilate, and if you're not going to assimilate,
Right.
and you want to bring your ways to here, well, look, there's a difference between enjoying a holiday and Thanksgiving or Christmas. If I were to take if I were to move to Germany, I could celebrate Christmas and Thanksgiving and 4th of fucking July where I'm at, but you're not going to see me fucking take my ways and go to the German capital and start protesting.
Right.
You stupid motherfuckers! Why did you have the computer room mishandling all the voting machines? You know,
Dominion, yeah.
I mean, what? Look, these guys need to be tagged. They need to be held accountable for what they're doing, just like the J6 guys are.
Yeah, it's very. One thing that's very interesting, though. I mean, usually when you have these professional protesters that are funded by like Soros and whatever. I mean, the same
Zuckerberg.
Yeah, the same guys show up for the same protests, and there's like it's almost like there's a list of protests.
I know, and they just travel.
But here's what's interesting. Typically, it's liberals against conservatives, right?
Correct.
But lately, because of Biden's, too much support for Israel, he's been trying to soften it.
All right.
But he came out hard in support of Israel, and that wasn't on the list.
Well, they're split on this whole thing.
They are. And so we're seeing liberals go against liberals, left against left. And these, and it's just really, it's a really interesting dynamic.
Well, one of the things I noticed that these protesters are doing is they're doing more than protesting. They're disrupting. And sitting in the street, breaking into facilities.
Yeah, it's the same, whether it's climate
Right.
or Gaza.
Right.
It's the same same bullshit.
And they're disrupting, and they're not trying to get people on their side.
Mm-mm.
I think what they're doing...
That'll change in any hearts or minds.
They're not changing any hearts or minds, but what it's going to be is there's going to be so much of it, people are going to go, fuck it.
Drive through them.
No. Just implement whatever you want because I'm tired of dealing with you.
Oh, so you think they're playing the
long game.
I'm
going to annoy
not even
you.
long game. It's the
I'm going to be such a pest. You just
Yes.
like, fuck it. Do whatever.
It's
do
I
whatever.
run out of patience.
Yeah, I'm
you win.
done.
You win.
It's like a
Correct.
terrible toothed infant.
Yeah.
That's just fucking with you. Yeah, fuck it. You know what? Eat the goddamn thing. I don't care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're not trying
No,
to change
That's
minds.
actually a really good analogy.
You
I
need to
think
smack
that's
those
I think
motherfuckers
that's how
down.
they're doing it. Like what their game
Smack
plan
them down. In fact, all those people in the goddamn roads, run them over. Fuck them.
I think that's what's going to happen.
At some point because over
And I actually feel bad for the person that does it because they're going to be screwed.
Oh.
yeah.
But did you see there was a bridge protest, and they locked down the whole bridge? I think it was in New York. And
on the one to the airport, wasn't it?
Well, I think it was the bridge because the one of the very first cars in the front was this African American man, and he was and he was yelling at him. He was like, "I
He had to go get his kid.
I got to get to my daughter," and I don't know the circumstances, like she was sick or something. But apparently, he gave enough of a compelling case that they let him through, and maybe obviously because he's a black.
He's
man.
black.
Yeah,
Right.
black man. But I'm thinking, dude, if I'm the car behind him, it's a bull rush.
Oh yeah.
It's a fucking bull rush, and whoever's in the way after that point, fuck them. It's a bull rush at that point. I can't believe nobody else went.
Yeah, used to be stick right on his bumper.
Oh,
I'm going.
we're all going. It's over,
Right.
and that's going to happen, and people are going to get hurt.
I'll do it.
Just like the Burning Man thing. Remember that sheriff comes flying in and blows up there. I'm amazed nobody got hurt on that deal. He got
lucky.
He got lucky that nobody got their arm torn off or get run over, but he came in hot. I loved it.
Yeah. More of that needs to happen.
We don't do that shit in Nevada.
These stupid
Is it
guys need to be held
Nevada?
accountable for what they're doing.
Agreed.
They need to be held accountable. I mean,
Agreed.
this is nuts, man.
Enough is
Grow
enough.
up, wake up.
They're endangering themselves and others. Now it's become a safety thing.
Correct.
It's a safety thing. It's no longer, I don't give a shit what you're protesting.
What is the phrase? You want to jump off a bridge? Like what was the thing when you talking about your friend? You hanging out with your friends? Oh, if they jump off a bridge, are you going to jump off?
You're going to do it too?
I mean, that's the same thing. It's like,
Right.
are you going to go play in the street? What are you doing? I mean, they're playing in the street. It's retarded.
It's retarded.
It's
It is.
absolutely just ridiculous.
Well,
And unfortunately, it's going to take a really ugly incident for, like, if you're like, come on, dude, we're going to go protest at the whatever, and I'm going to be like, well, you know what? Last time, 3 people got run over and killed.
yeah.
And I don't
The
think
patients are starting to
Yeah.
end.
And my mom says it's probably not a good idea for me to go this time. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I think that's what it takes.
Well,
It's going to take somebody that kind of runs over people.
Just barreling through.
Kind of.
And it's probably going to be a trucker.
And they can just say, oh my God, my brakes, what's happening? And swerve around other cars, swerve around, bam, 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 bam. Oh my God, I got my brakes.
It's probably going to be a big trucker who's like, I'm on a schedule.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yep.
Because you're not gonna stop me. Yeah, my brakes. Oh, yeah, my air brakes went out.
this goes back to the whole
I'm okay with it.
LRAD.
I know that sounds horrible.
The LRAD. See, I talked about
Oh, the sound.
Yes, I was talking about how I wanted to do my
Make them
anti-protest little pump machine where I was going to shoot out some mist around the car.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what? There's even a more effective one. I mean, that LRAD sound machine, they make those.
They put them on ships.
They have them on ships. They're military. They're initially they're available for civilians now. They're $10,000.
Yeah, they put them on ships to like the Somali pirates.
Yes.
They're very directed, and you just.
It's
noise?
basically Well, it's a sound wave, and it shoots at them, and it's so loud. It's like 130 decibels. It is enough to make them vomit. And when you hear it,
And so what? They
you disperse.
You think they just stumbled to the side?
Oh, dude, nobody wants to be in that wave. Nobody. And it's effective from like 100 yards away.
Well, how do you? So okay, here's
How do
the
you
challenge.
implement it?
Yeah, well, here's the challenge, right? How do you have it? Like, you never know when these people are just going to pop up and do this.
Well, they're not real big. I think you can roll them out. Police could use them.
Well, I mean, look, my
You follow me, though.
my suggestion
I mean-
would be to look. The fastest way to get to a place is by what? Helicopter,
Sure.
right? So put them on a helicopter, fucking fly out to that place, and blast that area with an LRAD.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you're gonna have to
I
have
don't- I
one in
don't
every
disagree.
city.
I was actually thinking about this the other night. I don't know why, but I was like, what if you feel like, and again, this is not practical because who's going to drive around with these in their car? But if you filled up like water balloons, but with some vile,
Poop.
yeah, like shit water.
Well, I don't think that's illegal, isn't it?
Is it? Is it? I thought, and that was the next thing I was going to say is so you throw these water balloons at these people and you splatter them with something non-toxic. It won't kill them, but it's nasty.
But I think if it's like bodily fluids,
Yeah, it's
that's
health code. And
Yeah,
stuff,
there's
you
some problems around bodily fluids.
Okay, well, I mean, but you can come up with something that's
They're not my bodily
Well,
fluids.
well-
something nasty. How about some?
What are you gonna
some
sperm on them?
How about some non-toxic?
There you go again. Oh, I'm
really
done.
vile
Just
water.
stinks.
Yeah,
Well, you get like stink bombs.
but again, yeah, who's gonna have a box of those? Oh my God, there's a protest! Woohoo! And they get their box out and they
Right.
run up there.
So
and-
that LRAD I was referring to is a long-range acoustic device. LRAD.
you brought this up before. I
It's
remember
a
now.
sound cannon. It's a loudspeaker. These things work.
Or just a water cannon.
Well, I was going to say that because
it's
I've seen the
physical, though.
footage of
Fuck yeah, water cannons.
over in France where,
In China,
these blasts just
they
blow people off.
fucking-
Yeah.
Oh my
Gone.
gosh! The French people are getting irate
Everybody
over the
is.
Muslims, and there's some dude was
over the
like
Muslims?
they were burning the Quran.
Oh.
They were burning the Quran.
Well, that's one way to spark a holy war.
Oh Jesus! They were burning the Quran, and in Ireland they were they burnt down. So they have these Muslims that are coming in, and they were like being put up in hotels and stuff because these third party people are coming in, boom, 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 filling up the whole thing.
Migrants.
These migrants, and they burnt the fucking. They were like, we don't want them here. They burnt the goddamn comforts in the hotel down.
Wow.
They burned it down in Ireland.
Yeah, now.
Who, the owners?
The Irish people.
Irish
it's like,
people.
People are getting there's people that were having unrest
Right.
because of
Massachusetts.
these outside influence.
Massachusetts is asking private citizens to host migrant families
In their home.
in their home.
No.
And now they're for a while, New York City was forcing hotels to,
Correct.
host migrants. I mean, it's a shit show.
It is.
It's out of control.
If you have an extra bedroom, like this house here, well, we see only 2 of you live there. You have 3 other bedrooms.
And it's not really your house. It's the government's house.
Right. You need to be able to take in 3 migrant families.
No way.
No, I don't.
Hell, we had issues when freaking Katrina hit. You remember that?
That's different.
That
Those
was
people,
different.
those places are
that was
displaced.
different, but even that was messy.
Yeah. And Katrina, you had people that were, they were put out into the sports arena, and it was ugly.
Everything was ugly, and there was even
Yeah.
stories of. The bottom line is,
People getting raped.
yeah, the stories of strangers in your home, right? Strangers in your home,
Strangers
and there was
in
a
your home.
teenage daughter that was raped. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I'm sorry, this is our sanctuary.
Right.
This is our,
I worked hard
abode.
for this. My entire life for this, my little castle I have here.
Yeah,
and
I
you
don't-
want to
I
take
don't
that
have
away
to
from
I
me?
don't have
No,
to share it
fuck
with anybody.
you.
I read.
Fuck you. And Elon
Exactly.
Musk said that. Elon Musk said, "Hey man, they're coming after your homes next." So because Elon
Yeah,
Musk
because
said
they're
that.
trying to make it to where it's ownership is impossible and we all lease.
Well, not just that, but he
And
was
then
talking
we don't
specifically
own
about the
them. Correct.
migrants. He was saying, "Hey, look, man, they're gonna," because it came out right when New York they closed the schools down, and they were like, "Hey, we're gonna put migrants in the school for this day because it's so cold."
Yep.
And look, I feel bad for those.
No, not well. Yeah, oh, that's right. They took over the PE, the gyms, and the PE facilities and stuff, and so the students weren't. All those canceled.
They had to
all
stay
those
home.
classes
They
got
they
canceled.
went remote.
Yeah, they go through Zoom meetings.
No, hell no.
And right after that, like Elon Musk posted something, it was like, "Yeah, they're going to go to your houses next. They're going to go to your homes next." And just like Jeff said, that's exactly what Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
You know, look, man, they're coming after your daughter, Chuck. I mean, this is freaking.
I even think New York has hinted at that if things don't get better, we may have to look at personal residences.
Right, meaning turn the wrath against Abbott and Texas for continuing to send. Well, if Abbott doesn't stop and you guys don't rise up and get upset about this, we're going to have to put them in your house.
Well, the amount that that we are sending is minuscule compared to what Biden's doing.
Biden's sending them everywhere.
Yeah, Biden is doing a lot of this.
This is nuts, man. It's nuts.
Yeah,
But he's doing it secretly.
Yeah,
Yes, he is overnight flights.
Abbott's like maybe 1%.
Yeah, I know. Very effective, though.
But
Maybe.
it's so effective.
Very effective. I
Good for
applaud it.
Abbott. You know what? Good
I
for
applaud
Abbott
it.
for standing up and
Because
pushing
he's
out Border
raising
Patrol.
awareness to an issue that people were ignoring right under their noses.
Yeah. Now, but we still have Texas is we have an infestation.
Why don't we see it? Where is it in Texas?
It's between.
Where is it?
It's between San Antonio and Houston.
In that one.
Dude, look, there's nothing but desert and fucking land out there. All right,
I know they built some mega
they've got
subdivision.
they've
Yeah,
got
there's
an
some subdivisions they built out
incredible. There are just groves. I think that's the word, right? Of these.
there. Shanty towns.
Yeah, and they use those.
It's not as bad as it sounds.
what
I
is
think
the-
reporters went in
the-
there and they were like,
What is the
Not
emergency
quite what
housing?
people are
The
saying it
federal,
is.
the FEMA. They're using old FEMA trailers that were left over
What a
from
nightmare.
from the Louisiana Katrina thing. They had thousands and thousands of FEMA trailers. You remember those?
Oh, yeah.
They're all sealed up, perfect condition. They just dumped them. They're out there. They're set up on blocks. Hey, live there, live there. Yeah, there's no water, electricity, but
You know
got
what's
somewhere to
interesting?
sleep.
I remember reading a story that the migrants are like, we're going home.
Right.
Yeah,
This sucks.
that
Right.
happened about 2-3 months ago, and I hope it's happening more now.
Yeah,
Well,
well, I mean, because we are selling them. Biden is selling them a lie.
Well, plus
It's not great here.
Plus, now they're coming in and they're like up right now. If you're an immigrant here in North Texas,
Mhm.
it sucks. It's cold.
Mhm.
And if you're up north in Chicago, homeless
Yeah.
on the street with your family, no coats.
Yeah, but if you're in California, you
That
get free
sucks.
medical.
Yeah, free medical, free coach too.
Yeah, I mean,
And if you're in California, you get to jump on the police force and be a like part of the community.
police force. Well,
Yeah.
I tell you what,
The
if I
police
was
academy is taking illegal immigrants right now.
Well,
if I was coming over, I'd be like, I want to go to San Diego.
yeah, well, I mean, if I get to pick,
I want to go to California.
apparently there's an app and you can just kind of pick where you want to go. Or can't you?
I would not go to the north. I wouldn't stay here in Texas. I'd go someplace where they're like, okay, well, we want you.
They need to go back home.
Plus, yes, I agree.
I would live in Nancy Pelosi's home. Is that an
I
option?
wouldn't.
Is
I
that an
wouldn't
option?
want to.
Well, she's never there.
Just camp right in front
She's
of
got
it.
like 10 homes. What does she need 10 homes for? I'll live in one of them.
She's,
I
she
don't
did
know.
she did a little interview about a week
It's
ago,
awful.
and I was so distracted by the gap. There's a shadow. Her eyes are so inset
I know.
because
yeah.
of her. She's got something going on, and
You get an Ozempic face.
It's called old.
she's old as fuck. But she's got
like 90.
she's got something going on where I find, and look, she's a piece of shit. She's a piece of shit. She's a stealing, conniving,
She's so corrupt.
She's a piece of shit.
I get it.
And
I get it.
she's a criminal. And
Right.
what she did was unforgivable. Fuck her. Fuck her for January 6th, because you know what the thing is? She is super pissed still because she holds a grudge against Donald Trump. First of all, because of Donald Trump. But
Right.
second of all, because Donald Trump pulled her ass off the tarmac when she
Yep.
had 125 of her friends and family, and we're going to go travel all over the planet and do this and that over
And
in
you said,
Europe.
yeah, you can't use that plane.
Yeah, sorry, COVID. Yeah, we're shut down. That's what it was. The government is shut down for this, and therefore we can't send you out there. And took her ass off the tarmac, dude. Can you imagine everyone
Oh.
packed, ready to go,
And we're talking
excited,
about, we're talking
days
about
off?
the Nancy Pelosi.
Oh,
Right.
but you gotta imagine
You-
she's
what
got
did you do to me?
125 friends and family on that thing, about to take off for a mass vacation.
Right.
This is like
On the government's dime.
Pelosaloozy out there. I mean, it's just like they were going to go to town. He yanked her ass off that plane and said, "Fuck off,"
Right.
and she was so pissed.
She'll never forgive him, of course.
This is what that is.
You think
th-
so?
Yes,
Absolutely.
I think it's part of it.
I think she
She holds
is
a grudge.
so pissed about that incident
The
that
day-
she's kind of like, I will do anything and everything it takes to screw Donald Trump over until the day I die, which hopefully is tomorrow.
When
Fuck that
when
cunt.
she does finally leave Congress, I'm going to be very thankful. I'm going to be thankful for a lot of on both sides. To we need new.
Well, Mitch McConnell needs to go.
I know we need new blood. We need
really-
younger blood that gets not doing business as usual.
Let's dive
I really
into
hope
that.
that happens.
Let's dive
Turn the
into Vivek Ramaswamy.
Vivek
Ramaswamy.
Vivek Ramaswamy.
Ramaswamy.
Right?
Ramaswamy.
Ramaswamy. So I really enjoy listening to him talk.
He's smart.
And
Smart. He's a good interviewer.
I do
And he
have.
he does a great job reacting to.
Yes, he
people.
does. I do have some areas of concern,
Of course.
and it has
He's
to.
raw.
Well, yeah,
I think
that
he's immature.
that too. But what my areas of concern are two things: his George Soros thing, which is old news, and I know you guys are like, but you know what? Still, George Soros influence.
He had a good response to that.
Number two, fuck that. I don't care about the response, but the facts are facts. His response may be cool. Yeah, George Soros helped out, but you know what? Somebody's going to hand job or reach around or whatever it is. Number
Meaning
two,
there's always strings attached.
he made a tremendous amount of money on the sale of the vaccine.
On
Period.
the COVID vaccine? No. I think he had a pharmaceutical company, but I didn't.
Yes,
I
he
never
did.
heard that it was.
Yes, he did.
Biotech is what he says.
Yeah,
I was in
biotech. Well, that's
Yes, he
different.
did.
Okay.
He invested in the vaccine, and he made a lot of money on it.
Oh well.
And
I would have invested in it.
All of us could
if I
have
would
done
have had
that.
the money.
okay,
That's just being a smart investor.
is it
Yes.
all right? But okay,
I should have invested in Pfizer. Why didn't I? That was dumb. And now that they're coming out with this
yeah, but you know what? You say that you guys
medicine,
say that, but you know it's ethically wrong.
I hear you there.
All right, so that's what I'm getting at. Was it a good opportunity? But you know what? This isn't
that's
stock
just-
in fucking in something.
Well, that's just like, do I invest in Apple?
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is because
No,
Apple.
it's not.
Apple,
It's completely different because you are
Supporting that company.
You are supporting something that is something that's anti-human. I mean, you're like going against the
understand what
grain
you're
of the humanity. Apple is not going against. That is an
well,
opportunity to make money.
You're talking ethics.
Yes.
Apple has some very poor ethics on their business. They use sweatshops. They use Foxconn, which people commit suicide. They
I'm
hang
not
out nets.
disagreeing with that, but those are
And
two
Nike.
different
So
animals.
if you, I don't know.
I
They're two different fields or two
look,
different
let me-
businesses.
we're getting distracted here, but I understand and I respect what
I
you're saying.
understand where you're going.
I don't disagree with you. I mean, it was an opportunity for him to make money, but let's not take away the fact that he's against the vaccine and all this other stuff.
And yet
but,
he's making money on
but
it.
yet he made a shitload of money on it, and most of that money went into his campaign funds.
So if I would have invested, it would have been in early, maybe with him. Maybe
I
what
get
we
it.
know now. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Well, here I got $1 billion.
Yeah,
over
but
here,
he's
which
not
is
saying
nice.
anything about that.
Well,
Yeah.
has anyone asked him that?
Yes, he's denied it, dodged it.
Yeah,
And I forget the name of the company because he invested in 2 companies, and
Yeah.
I forget what the names of them, and it
I'd
eludes
answer
me.
that and go, yeah, I invest in companies.
So
yeah. I mean, and
Those
I
are-
totally
The information I
understand
have
where
with
you're
those
coming
were
with.
those were the negatives about Vivek,
Vivek,
whatever.
Vivek.
The other ones that I had to say about him were super positive. Like you were saying,
He's got
Paul.
great hair.
Well, I was talking about more of his handling of the press, the handling of these people that are coming at him from different directions,
And trying to start a fight with him, and he's like,
the
"Well,
support that
interesting you
he
do
has
that."
for the Constitution, the support he has for our amendments, and just his overall.
So what do you
demeanor.
What do you think his future is in politics?
I
He is not going to be selected as the VP. No question
I
about
think
it.
he'll
He would
be-
love that.
If Trump wins, I think he'll be in the cabinet.
You think you have a cabinet position?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Interesting. And it would be something
Well, Mayor
entrepreneurial.
Pete has transportation.
Yeah, but
it won't be something
He's
like
a
that.
fucking idiot,
total.
right?
All right, so he'll be. Yeah, I can see that. I can
I
see
think
that.
he'll be in the cabinet. He's smart.
I can see that.
But the thing that he brings to the table is he
Common
brings up
sense.
things that avoid what you were discussing earlier, Paul, about term limits.
Right.
He brought up term limits. He said that, hey, look, paper ballots.
Yeah.
You want to vote?
Take out any ambiguity about electronic voting.
Yeah. He was just like, well, just let's vote, because he doesn't trust the voting system either.
Yeah.
And
it's
so
too easily manipulated.
it's absolutely he's got a lot of pluses, but there's still that huge question mark. And
I think it just comes with time.
Well,
you're right.
I
You're
was
right.
gonna say he's a newcomer.
We
right?
didn't know who this guy was 3 years ago.
He went from being a billionaire, biotech
He used
guy
to be a lib.
with zero.
Yeah, in fact,
with absolutely
there's
zero political experience.
there's a lot of
into running for
argument
president.
between he and his wife regarding the vaccine, because his wife was a proponent of the vaccine, and
That's all right. You can have split families in that.
that's true.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. But there's
Like, to where they don't talk anymore.
well, I mean, they still get
So
along.
bad.
and-
It's so bad.
but my point by bringing the whole thing up is that when we initially talked about Vivek, fucking shit, I can't say his name. Vivek.
So he said it rhymes with cake.
There you go. Thank you, Vivek.
Vivek.
So, but when we were talking about him, the only thing I had about him, well, you know what, he was George Soros kind of groomed him, and I still believe there's an element of that. However, everything
I thought
that
he just won an award from.
He won an award. He
A
won
scholarship.
He won a
His
scholarship.
family was-
He won a scholarship. I don't
his
think it
family was
groomed.
sponsored. His family was
so maybe
sponsored.
there was more to it.
Yeah, there is more.
I think he sponsored lots of families.
He did. He was trying to get wealthy families into the United States so that he can plant these little seeds. Look, George Soros
So he knows
doesn't
what
care
he's
about
doing.
humanity. George Soros only cares about power and money,
Oh,
period. And he has said that on a myriad of different interviews. He says, I don't
Well,
care what kind of impact.
But he also has an ideology, an agenda. So
That's-
it's more than
that's exactly what I'm saying.
But using
But it all
power
revolves
and
around-
money to advance his
That's right. So,
globalist.
like somebody confronted George Soros about, how do you feel about, bankrupting these countries? He was just like, I don't think it from a social aspect. I think about making money. I think about an economics perspective. If I have an opportunity to make money, then I'm going to make money. I don't
Right.
care what the social impact is.
right.
That was his words.
Right.
He's a piece of shit.
yep,
Right.
And his son is a piece of shit.
yep. He's right behind him.
And he is young and ready to take over the reins.
Oh.
Virile.
Oh,
Thank you for saying that about the cake thing. That's so going to help me.
does that help you? Yeah. No, it does.
Yeah.
Just
So
say
the cake,
The pie.
Pie. Yeah. The pie.
The pie.
The pie
big
Ramaswamy
blueberry
cakey.
pie.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So I get it. This all.
What do you feel about? Have you seen his answer? Because he hasn't really discussed his religion because he's Hindu,
Mhm.
and no one I saw him answer it the other day. He goes, this is great. No one's really asked me about this.
About my religion.
Yeah, and the way he explained it was, these are my values, my morals, and he was like, and they matched up almost exactly like Christian values.
Yes.
He goes and he says, I believe in the one God, and I believe in, marriage between man and the woman, and responsibility, and all these things that
Mhm.
Christians believe.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows the Bible inside and out. He went to a Christian school in Cincinnati.
Okay.
And
He's super smart.
he is.
He is.
And he
Smart.
speaks so eloquently, similar to
Right.
Barack Obama.
And he said he goes. So what I grew up as a Hindu, my morals and values match what the Constitution is about.
Right.
So whether I'm a Hindu or a Christian, my values match. Right.
Right.
So he said it much more eloquently than that.
And you know what? I mean, you guys are going to be like, what? But that is true for a number in the core teachings of just about every religion,
Correct.
including Islam.
Oh yeah.
100% including Islam.
Yep.
You'd be amazed the value and all those things you said, the virtues and how you're a good human being, and there's one God and all that kind of stuff. If an Islamic person didn't know any better, they would think, oh, you're talking about Islam.
Right.
So,
But some folks will have a problem with that, because I
They
remember
would.
back in the day
they would, because of the reputation of radicals.
when was it Kennedy? Was he the first Catholic
Oh, gotcha.
to be
What?
elected?
Yeah, JFK was
So-
the first Catholic president.
So they
That's
were all
correct.
Protestants before that, or Baptists, or something like
Whatever. Yeah.
that. So I remember that was a big deal. Oh, he's our first Catholic.
and
What does that mean?
I grew up Catholic, and I don't even understand the animosity towards Catholicism. I mean, you may not agree with the with the way they worship, but why? I haven't understood that.
It's religion. It's just religion in general.
It's very tribal.
It is tribal. I mean, but now it's even transcending even what do you call it? Denominations. I mean, you had that DEI.
Oh my God, the John Hopkins bitch.
Yes, and she listed.
know.
I mean, I get that they listed white male. Okay, we're that's
We matched all of
that's
them.
a broken record. Christian
Criminal.
was on that list, and I was like, that's so offensive.
It's so offensive.
They didn't even try to backtrack. They tried to cover their asses.
Did they?
Because they got called out on it.
I mean, so bad.
Yeah.
And it was middle-aged white men, Christian, homeowner.
No, it was owners or middle-class people.
Right.
And I'm just like,
Hardworking people that have earned their way through society,
correct.
If you're
trial and
any
error.
of those
These,
people, if you're any
you're
of
a
those
problem.
people,
and you happen to be a Caucasian.
right,
You're a problem.
Yeah.
you have privilege. You have privilege. But that's not what they mean. They don't mean you have privilege. What they mean is you're the ones we don't like.
Correct.
That's really what it boils down to. It's not like, hey, we love you guys, but, hey, we would love it if you would take a step back because if you're in these categories, you've got privilege that you probably don't know about, and you should probably check yourself a little bit, self-reflect. But that's not what they're saying. They're saying, we don't like you, we won't hire you, we won't promote you, we want nothing to do with you because essentially you're the reason why everything is bad in the world.
Right.
And that's bullshit.
We're the reason why everything is better in the world. We're the reason why shit gets done in the world. I mean, all these other things.
Right. You're saying from the get-go. I mean, obviously things have changed over the generations, and more people are getting involved in the mix. And I mean, but yes, you're right. I mean, in the very, very beginning, it was built on, it was built on.
I got to tell you, speaking of built on, I remember growing up as a. Let me think real
as
back.
A poor
white child.
It's a poor white child. They used to call me a honky. No, there was. I remember.
Poor black child.
I lived in. It was
The jerk.
19.
I was born a black poor
It
black
was
child.
1984. It was 1984, 83, 83, 84.
14, 15.
Ish. Yeah, somewhere around there. So I remember being in New Jersey. It was Fort Monmouth, New Jersey. And I remember it was summertime, and we got out of school, and we're on a military base, and we have no idea what to fucking do. Because I'm like, oh, my God, I'm new with life. I have no idea. And we're new on base, and I was like, what are we going to do for the summer? So I've got neighbors, at school, and, so I've got like a couple friends, and we're like, let's just go up the street. See, my mom said there's a bowling alley. Let's go check that out.
Some bowling.
Well, I mean,
Bowling alley.
we're on a military base, so it's a
Right.
military bowling alley. So I mean, it's still a bowling alley, but it's just different because you can't just drive up being a civilian. So it's a generic bowling alley. So if you so we would go.
Hold on, it was on base, not.
It was on a
base.
military base.
So it was all military children or adults.
Yes,
Military people.
Yes, military people were there.
Okay.
And so, I mean, I just remember, look, we're trying to reflect a little bit about growing up and doing things like, what did you guys do when you were growing up at that age? I mean, the bowling alley was cool for me because I would go there, I would play because back then arcades were huge. I mean, fucking bowling was so inexpensive, and it was so fun. It really
Not
was.
anymore, is it?
Well,
no, it's not.
Well, the bowling alleys today, at least here in Frisco
Technology
region,
has just blown that away.
It's
They're
completely blows
entertainment
away.
centers.
Yeah, I mean, you got bowling with all kinds of games built into it. You
Yep.
got laser tag. You got the cable run. And
Oh, the cable run's
rock
awesome.
walls and
Have you ever seen
Laser tag's cool too.
yeah.
Have you ever seen the early bowling alleys? They had people setting up the pins.
Oh yeah.
No, I
Isn't
haven't seen
isn't
that.
that funny? I mean, before it was automated.
Yeah,
right?
they'd have people back there putting them in the thing.
Yeah, they did that first, and then they designed a thing where they were on strings, and it would pull up the things and set them down.
I haven't seen that either.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see the history,
Right.
the technology
Well,
behind bowling alleys.
Yeah,
over the years.
I lived quite a bit in the bowling alley because my parents were in a bowling league. Probably when I was 8, 9, 10 years old, and couldn't afford babysitters, so I'd go with them.
Yep.
My sister and I would go with them, and they'd bowl for a couple hours, 2-3 hours. And this place was called Ringo Lanes. It was in Cincinnati somewhere, and the owner he seemed extremely old to me at the time. I don't know how old he really was, but
He was 42.
he's probably in his 40s, right? It was called Ringo Lanes, and he would come out because a bunch of kids would be there because the parents would come and the kids would hang out. They'd
Yep.
eat a hot dog and
Let
get
the
a pop
kids run
and-
around, tear up shit.
Yeah, we'd run around and have fun and play a pinball machine, and
Pinball, good stuff.
and Blue Ash. That's it right there, Ringo Lanes, Blue Ash, Ohio,
No way.
and
Abandoned. It's abandoned Ringo Lane.
right, and
Well, you drove them all away, Jeff.
yeah, that's it. Look at that. And how about that? And he had a bullwhip.
Oh.
Wow.
So the big black thing.
What's going on? Okay, sorry.
It's literally still there.
Yeah, that's exactly it right there. And
That's crazy.
that'll be funny if you see me walk in. Anyway,
Yeah, in the 1920s.
Hey, how you
This
doing?
is a video of the 1920s of them walking into the bowling alley.
It's
I
more
don't
like
think
the
we'll see
50s.
And anyway, he would clear an area like in the lanes, like out by the bar area, and all the kids would line up, and he'd get this thing, and he would and just make these.
Like a log whip crack?
Yeah, it was a big whip, and he would do this thing probably 5 or 6 times. Crack, crack.
Really?
Crack.
What's
Yeah.
going
that
on?
sounds safe.
Were you guys around tobacco fields?
No.
Wow.
So he would do that, and the kids would love it and everything, and
So there's a video of Ringo Lanes in like the 40s.
this has to be the 50s or 60s.
You think 50s? I was thinking maybe 40s, but gosh, yeah, that's
I don't know if this was Ringo Lanes. This looks like some TV show.
no, it's a
No, that's
it's abandoned Ringo Lanes.
no,
in
that's
Ohio.
Punch You to the Moon. What is that?
Oh, there it is. That's Ringo Lanes. Yeah.
That was the
No,
honeymooners.
it's the same. That's the same YouTube video. It says abandoned Ringo Lanes.
Yeah, but
They're
the little
going over
the
a
little
history of
clip
it.
they had there was the honeymooners.
Yeah. Yeah, you see he's got
Interesting.
whips up on the wall there and stuff like that. He'd come out there. And,
Oh yeah, you had the overhead projector.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was some cool stuff back then. So you had the dry erase of markers, and you put your score up. I remember that. So when I would go back there, it was all about the video games. It was the pinball. Oh, I remember. It was a Black Knight. It was Black Knight. Black Knight. You remember?
Where when they turn out the lights and it's all like
No.
funky colors?
No, I'm talking about
No, they
in
do
the
that back
arcade.
then.
There's a pinball game called Black Knight.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. I'm getting distracted by this Ringo
It's
Lane.
fascinating that
It is
they-
fascinating.
They're still there.
Anyway,
It's
okay.
abandoned though, right?
You know what? I didn't get sucked too much into the arcade.
That's damn near 50 years ago.
Yeah,
The
well,
arcade scene. I didn't get too much sucked into that because I was overseas.
Well, what'd you do? I mean, you went to the bowling alley, right?
So
So did you bowl?
No, there weren't really any bowling alleys overseas. I don't know what we did. I know we went to the American Club when I was in Tokyo, and I, you know what? I think we just kind of hung out as a family when we lived overseas. We really didn't. We didn't do that much when it came to entertainment.
They have bowling in Tokyo?
We didn't do that. We didn't do that. I mean, I'm literally trying to think what we did, but we pretty much just hung out as a family and
Played cards?
didn't do much. Now I'm realizing my childhood sucked.
Didn't you had awesome times?
And you sold naked
You got to like torture
grandparents?
your driver.
Well, that was Indonesia, and that was different. That was when I started playing sports, and so you were.
And you saw some nudity when you were young?
Oh, tons of nudity. That
Oh
was
yeah,
great.
from
That
your
was great.
neighbors and
From
your
my
friends,
my
Yes.
Dutch friend
hanging out
with
in
his
their
naked
courtyard.
skinny dipping parents and
Hi,
weird ass
guys.
house.
I'm here to stir it up.
All you're doing is confirming that my childhood did suck.
No, I'm sure it didn't.
Okay, well, it looks like Ringo Lanes is no longer
You had all
there.
kinds of.
It's been demolished.
Yes.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, well, you know
My
what?
youth.
Oh,
I've
look
spent
at that.
many of the nights there.
Did you?
And
You
I
spent overnight? They have like.
no, not overnight, but many nights. And I just remember
With
walking
the
in,
whip man.
and back then,
I'm gonna spank you,
and
you
back
little son
then
of a
you could
bitch.
smoke
Come
anywhere.
on, guys.
Look at you.
You could
so
smoke
chubby. Come
anywhere,
here.
and
Oh,
everybody
yeah.
smoked. So you'd walk in, it's just this
Oh,
haze.
Oh, that's what it was like back then in the bowling alleys.
God.
You got these
Gross.
women that were like, "Hey, look, hold on, Mike McCloskey." You got that voice in this. She's
yeah.
always smoking a cigarette. You
Yep.
go up there, you get your bowling shoes, and there's old school stuff that nobody wants to steal. You don't want to steal those shoes.
No.
But you know, what we haven't done is talk about this bourbon.
We have not.
Oh, this is Bard something. Huh?
This is a
Bardstown.
extremely good.
It's a $150 bottle.
Yes, it was.
One
Is
of our
it?
very first high
Yes. This may have been the
cost
first one.
purchases.
This may have been the first one
It
we
is
purchased.
So
outstanding.
the Bardstown Bourbon Company Discovery.
This is Discovery Series number 6.
Oh, it is really, really good. What's the proof?
It's a
on this
blend
thing?
of straight bourbon
111.
whiskeys. It's 111.1 proof.
It's outstanding.
I'm enjoying the hell out of it. And you said was this one of our big ones?
Yeah, this
One of
I
our
thought this may
very
have been the
first
first
high cost, high price.
I sucked this one down pretty good, man. This is good.
I've
you
been
know what?
savoring it.
I have actually turned into Paul.
Oh, wow. Well, that's an improvement.
one. Yeah.
My penis is getting smaller.
Wait,
And-
hold on.
I'm sorry. What I meant was that my drink is. I am drinking the shit out of this. Like even the first half, I was like,
Right.
it's gone.
What do you? That's not like me. I'm savoring.
That was
Look,
like Kevin.
Yes,
No, that was
yes.
Kevin.
Now,
oh, I see what you're saying. I got you.
yeah. Now
You're controlling yourself.
I'm losing control of myself.
Oh, wait.
Did
This
you
is a burst
understand
of-
any of that? What I said?
A burst of vanilla, cedar, and candied orange evolves
Evolves.
into dark chocolate and black cherry. With floral accents, a bold, balanced, and ringing finish completes this one-of-a-kind cast-strength blend.
Yeah. So about that.
I think they're smoking crack.
It's
Yeah.
really good.
But let's give this a fair assessment
I really
because
like it.
after it's crazy when you read things and you're kind of like, oh, that kind of tastes like that.
I smell chocolate.
It
I
does.
kind of smell
I smell
some
chocolate.
black cherry chocolatey stuff in
I
there.
do. They're not lying here.
Yeah.
But you know what? Do they put that in your mind? Or if you had never read that, would you ever have said chocolate,
Well,
black
look,
cherry?
we're
Look,
not-
it's the power of suggestion. You
Well,
know.
it is.
Totally.
And there are some folks who are able to pull that shit out.
I'm not.
None of us are.
No.
We're
All right.
like certain flavors I can, caramels, butterscotch, vanillas. But once you start getting into like pomegranate and black cherry and shit like that,
Stone fruit.
How long is this aged?
I don't know. Does it say on the
Say it
bottom?
on there. I didn't
It says
see it.
supremely
Actually-
aged.
Actually, I think it's a blend. So scroll down.
It is. The art of blending hand
Yeah.
selected supremely
There you go. It's
aged.
between three. The mash bill is oh shit! Look at that corn. 75, 84, and 75 on these three different blends.
And what's
11
really
years,
interesting-
17 years, in 7. You know that.
and Kentucky, Tennessee, and Indiana.
Let's focus on the middle one. This the blend of 16%. So there's three blends. One's at 68%, 16, and 16. So the middle one, 16% from Tennessee, is at 17 years if it aged. But the amazing part is that it's 84% corn. That it's crazy.
That's high.
It's probably
High corn.
it's high corn, so that's maybe some
Sweeter.
of the sweetness.
Sweeter.
It's cheaper.
Because
Absolutely
I pick up some sweetness.
And it's 17 years. It's that
Sure
Tennessee with the 84% corn.
Yeah.
Guys,
That's where the
I am
smoky
going.
stuff's coming from.
This is rare for me. I'm going 8.3.
I think I agree with that. This is right up there.
Yeah.
This is right up there.
This is like just take.
I'm at
take,
8.1.
Take one more and absorb that finish.
You know what? No. I agree. I'm gonna do 8. You said 8.3? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you on 8.3.
I agree with that.
It's not 8.5. It's definitely 8.3. And it's not 8.1. I said 8.1, but that's not right. This is 8.3.
All right, so Mr. Producer, take the high and the low. Throw that out.
We all went 8.3.
Kidding, come on. What's wrong with you guys?
So I got to,
So average that out.
So look, I
Take
highly
8.3,
recommend it. Highly
8.3,
recommend it.
8.3,
Shout out
divided by 3.
to Bardstown. This is good stuff.
Good stuff. Really good stuff.
So the jumping back to the growing up in the
Tropics.
the bowling alley and just doing stuff like, what else? Did you go to movie theaters? Did you go to like the gym? And did you go? I mean, what else did you guys do as a kid?
No, I was big up until maybe freshman or sophomore year in high school during the summertime. This is before you turned 16. Every day I was down at the swimming pool.
Oh yeah, that was hot. Even as a
Every-
military brat.
Every day for years and years. And I probably stopped, like I said, after sophomore year because I had to work, right? I got my job. I was 16. I started working during the summer. So, and I'd still go to the pool, but, the friends were starting to move on at that point. They got cars. They're not wanting to sit around.
yeah.
Is that where you got
No,
your?
that's more of a middle school,
you
elementary
played-
kid
Yeah.
You
thing.
played school volley. You played pool volleyball. What is that called?
What? I played water polo.
Water polo. That's what it is. You play water polo. Is that kind of where that started?
No, I was on a swim team, and like I said, I was at the pool every day.
Yeah.
Every day swimming. I used to be able to hold my breath for probably a good 5 minutes.
Holy
Some of the
shit.
games,
Wow.
we'd sit down there, and I'd
long
latch
time.
onto the
So you created a lot of anxiety for the lifeguard.
lifeguards. Probably they didn't give a shit.
They're like,
about
that
us.
kid's been down there for 3.5 hours.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I used
I
to.
think
I
he's
used to
dead.
do the pool.
Nope, I can hold my breath,
I
guys.
used to be able to go. I used to go
Is that shit?
almost 3 laps underwater.
I think he shit himself.
Right. But no, I'd go. Like I said,
That was always a fun challenge, though. To hold your breath and go how many laps underwater? That's what you were just saying.
Oh
right?
yeah, I'd go almost 3, and
Olympic size pool.
Wow. No.
no, it was half that.
The 26 yard.
One of those little tiny spots.
Yeah.
It was,
I could do an Olympic sized pool back and forth when I was on the swim team.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It just takes practice and
Yeah.
conditioning is all it is.
It does. It's
You
lung
know?
control and
Yeah, I can't do that now. But if you're swimming all the time and shit like that, there's no problem because I'd latch myself onto the grate in the deep end because we'd play bass and minnows or whatever like that. So these stupid swim games.
Oh, we played shark and minnows. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Bass and minnows.
Yeah, because the bass would eat the minnows.
We played sharks and minnows. That's so interesting.
Played bass and minnows.
And, sharks is more fun.
And it was a matter of, and we'd also play ladder tag, right? So the ladders were bases. Anyway, I'd latch myself down there, and the person that was in the middle, who had to tag you to get it, he'd be hovering there waiting for you to, who could hold their breath the longest, basically.
Yeah.
So
How many kids died that year?
6.
Okay, good.
You ever take a shit in the pool?
No.
No, I've never done that.
God, who does that? Babies do that when
I
they
have
weren't
never
diapers.
done that in my life. I never would. I was
Why
just
would you even
asking.
bring that up?
Well,
Baby
anyone that
Ruth?
holds their breath for 5 minutes in a pool is
I don't shit
bound
that
to
often.
do some sort of defecation.
Okay, hold on. So you're saying you shit every 5 minutes?
I have never shit
I
in a
just
pool
want to. I want to understand kind of how you're equating
that
this
I'm
thing.
aware of.
No, but
I'll tell you one of the things that I did as a military brat and being limited access. I say limited access, but we weren't
You
in a
snuck up into the rafters of the movie theater. You had all access.
Oh, we did actually. So this particular one,
And you ate
thank for
Snicker
remembering
bars.
that. Oh my
Yeah.
God, that was so much fun. This one, and I think I may have spoke about this prior, but like during the summer, one of the fun things that we would do is we would rent. We go down for the military soldiers had a place to go rent things. Like we would go rent a bicycle or a tent or a tandem bicycle.
oh yeah.
And that's what we would do. We rented a tandem bicycle. It was like a ridiculous 65 cents a day.
I don't think I've ever been on a tandem bicycle.
It
My whole life.
is so fun because if you have two individuals that are retarded and
Stephen and Preston.
yes, that in are that in are physical and they can do
That
it.
was Tahoe.
Oh
Yes.
my God! Well, Tahoe they got a fucked up bike.
I
And they
think
weren't
it
able
was
to
like
do it.
governed or something. They were just trying to go like 80 miles an hour
No.
No, they just
and they
sucked
couldn't
at
do
it.
it.
No, that bike was.
They're
fucked.
just not physically
But
talented.
when
children.
when we were on that bike,
They tried.
we were able to haul ass on that thing because we were both like.
in shape and your calves were huge.
I was on the swim team, so my calves were not huge,
so
but
you
I
could
had
hold your breath for 5 minutes.
I had endurance, and
And
I
shit
was
in the
able
pool.
to
Yeah,
knock this
and
out.
shit in the pool.
But the thing about it was, we would be able to haul ass. But the fun part was we would go down there and we could get anything. We could rent anything. We could go down-
Privileged military children.
Well, we weren't white though.
You weren't white?
I was, but my friends weren't.
Oh.
So that's not white privilege, is that?
Damn, what do you do
But
there?
still, yeah,
now
'cause
that's
you,
a
I'm sure you
conundrum right
oppressed them
there.
'cause you made them sit in the back. on the
So are
tandem
they
bike,
guilty
I'm
by
sure.
association?
At the two-seater bike, the black kid had to be on the back of it. Really,
Well,
but that's
that-
where all the power
That didn't
comes
always
from.
that didn't always happen. So a lot of times I
That's
sat in the
so
back because you're
retarded.
absolutely right. I was the power bottom.
Ooh.
I bet you were.
Whoa.
I bet you were, especially later when you got in your high school years.
Jeez.
Wow,
Oh, shit, that's just
this
insane.
is where you start to.
So
wait
this is
for
the Fort
music.
Monmouth Dolphins, by the way. Fort Monmouth Dolphins swim team. That is crazy that I remember that.
I remember one time we were playing the games and we were in the deep end, which was 10 feet or 12 feet or whatever it was. And
Ooh, you had to pop your ears going to the bottom of that.
and well, yeah, if you weren't used to it. And
Oh.
I remember,
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
I can't remember what exactly the game was, but some people were on one side and some people were on the other side, and we dive in. And I remember this kid diving directly across from me.
Mm-hmm.
And I leaped out. I was probably halfway out, and my fingers
Oh no.
go into his eyes.
Oh no.
So I'm going boom. So I went up.
So you blinded a kid for life.
No, I didn't blind him, but
She ripped out his
it
cornea.
caused him some pain. Put it that way. He
Can you
came up. He
imagine
was
if
like,
you
"Oh my
gouged out his eyeballs?
I was like, I felt that. It went right
It got
in.
squishy.
Oh, it just went. Yeah, it was bad. It was
That would be
bad.
traumatic.
Yeah, it was bad, and it swelled up. And I was just like,
You're like,
what are you
"Oh."
gonna do? We weren't. It wasn't on purpose, but man, it was.
It wasn't
violent.
malicious, but you still destroyed his cornea.
Yeah, for life.
Wasn't
I
able to
don't
see
think
anymore.
I scratched. I think it kind of just went
Yeah.
like.
His professional baseball career came to an end.
Oh,
after
it's
that.
like I cupped his eyeball.
Yeah, you were. That's me. That's the swim team.
What are we looking at here?
That's the Fort Monmouth swim team.
Are you joking?
It looks like Preston.
Is that really you?
That's not me, but
I was going to say, it doesn't look anything like you.
that is.
He's kind of Tom Cruise-y looking there.
God, those are scary. I don't want to look at those pictures. That's
Oh,
scary.
hold on. What are those women up there?
No, here we go.
Oh.
What?
Those are children.
Oh, that's creepy.
It is.
Really? You want to look at those women up there. Let's look at those children. What the oh, fuck, man.
Did you wear? We had when I was on the swim
Epstein?
team. I was rocking the Speedo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was totally
Hell
rocking that
yeah.
Speedo.
Yeah,
I wasn't.
I would not put one on today though.
I will.
I wouldn't.
In the privacy of my home.
Inside your house, you wear a Speedo?
Yeah. I'm sure
Start walking around.
I'm sure the
Don't
maybe.
chase your daughters off real quick.
some of the top of the
Gross.
Speedo would probably be enveloped under my paniculum.
Yeah. What do you think of my Speedo?
Right.
Oh, what, you're wearing something?
Oh, turn around! Oh, I see it on your ass.
Yeah,
I can't see it on the front.
I thought you were nude. Thank God you're wearing something.
Jesus. So outside of the bowling alley, the swimming pools. I mean, growing up,
I used to hang out in the woods.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Dude,
we were outdoors.
totally.
I was going to say, we
Totally.
were nothing but outdoors.
Yep.
Like in Indonesia, I was shooting hoops. I was on the bike. I was riding around. I was flying kites. Flying
kites.
was-
That was huge.
Oh,
I did that
man.
too.
It was all outdoor stuff.
Very
And-
exciting.
And in Argentina, we went down to the coast, and we were, the tide would be out, and there would be all these pools, when the tide goes out, and the fish would be caught
So
in those pools.
when you were in
and we'd
these
be-
areas, were there
You
any
eat them.
like nude beaches?
Oh, everybody was nude. It was
Oh.
great.
Wow.
Yeah, and they'd be like, come on, American boy, come over here. We're nude over
Touch
here.
this.
Hey, Palito, come over here. Try
Yeah.
this out.
No.
Right.
Anyway,
Taste a little bit of this rum.
100% outdoor life,
Right. Right.
which is not the case anymore.
It is not, and it is still cold outside.
It is.
And it is January 16th.
Are you gonna walk home and get some brisk, fresh air?
I'm gonna decline.
Oh, okay. I mean, you said it clears the head, and
It did.
it's
year
probably
is clear.
13 degrees
My
right
head
now.
is so clear. I'm over that.
Really, how cold is it right now? I bet
I've-
you it's not 22. It's got to be dropped into the teens.
Oh, it's in the teens for sure.
This
that's
is
okay.
22.
Oh, well,
I don't believe that one single bit.
It's funny how the Northerners are like, really, you guys care?
Really?
22? Oh,
You guys are stupid.
I remember when it was negative 47 and I grilled some steaks out.
Yes. That's hard to do.
I was outside of my shorts,
Yes.
sandals. All right, it's January 16th. It's Tuesday.
It is.
It
Tuesday.
is a fantastic day. We got the playoffs of the football coming up this
Yeah.
coming week.
4 more games.
Next week it's going to rain, but it'll be in the 50s. So I think we're good next week. Well, thank you,
Yeah.
Mr. Producer, for being on top of shit tonight, as usual. Dudes like us,
Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys.
fuck off.
Do they have a consolation bracket or no?
I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Jeff.
You're an asshole.